Okay, wait, so there's 4 people here? How many people live here?
Yeah, 4. Simon lives in the garage.
Okay, I want to pause it there for a second to tell you what you're about to watch. If you're new here, my name is JT Barnett, and my channel is all about how I am running my own businesses in the creator economy and becoming a creator myself, specifically on YouTube now. In this video, you're going to see a conversation with Andrew, who is in the middle of this photo, who works for Google, specifically on YouTube, and Max, who is a YouTuber who has built a big channel and has now built his own agency. And we're talking about how he's running his business and how I'm getting into YouTube. You're going to have some great takeaways from this video. I hope you really enjoy it. And if you do, please follow along because I'm really enjoying this journey with you. Let's get back to it. All right, let's see it.
Yeah, kitchen, laundry room, and then our e-bike.
I saw the video of you guys moving in together. Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the pool. Yes.
And Chris is building, like, you know those like little libraries?
Okay.
Like the little library thing?
Yeah.
He's doing one of those. And then this is an impressive build out.
Dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
And then projector and stuff. So actually, like,
This looks great.
dude, it's nice for garage.
Yeah, this is great.
Under a branch.
What does he do in the summer with heat?
Dude, AC.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, so this is a room.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
And then he's a heater as well. So it works.
Dude, so cool. How do you guys all know each other?
Through YouTube. Because I watched Simon's videos, he watched mine, and then like one of our other friends named Chris, and just kind of connected the dots through that.
And just moved in together just on a whim?
No, it was, I dropped out, Simon dropped out. Chris was still in San Diego, and then we were like all building camp together remotely. We're like, let's just live together somewhere. So it's basically like a startup house.
So cool. I like Simon's stuff too.
Not a stranger to us.
This is a filming house. Where am I?
This is the Dunkin' in my room.
Dude,
How are you?
are you on a call right now? With the yes.
The legend.
Yes. What up, brother?
Man, I was
Dude,
chatting
This makes me
with,
so happy.
Me and Chris were just hanging, and he's like, "Yo, guess who's at the house?" And he whispers, he's like, "JT Barnett." I was like, "Why are you whispering? You're screaming. Get upstairs. I've been seeing this guy in so long."
Okay, so this is the spot.
This is the spot. This is my crib. Oh my god. This is the selling point right here. The roof access.
Oh my god, dude, yes. Yes. Wait, Simon here too?
Nah, he's on a trip to Europe. How long are you here for?
I leave tomorrow.
Oh, so a quick trip?
That's it, bro. That's the whole thing. The way that I got to here is the person that I followed the most when I was younger was Gary Vee, and the shit that I liked about his content was just conversations. It wasn't even, there was no visual, there was no music, I didn't care about the music. There wasn't anything that was like, oh, like that's cool that they just did that like cinematic transition. I was like, if there was even longer conversations just raw, I would listen to them even more. So I was like, okay, I want to see more of that, so maybe I'll just start doing it. And I also feel like with short form, it's gotten to the point where it's so fast paced and so over edited.
You can't win.
Yeah, that I just am like, I kind of feel like I want to just go very slow, very raw, and like do whatever feels like the least amount of work. And if people can resonate with it, cool. So the fact that you said that you've watched anything is fucking unbelievable.
I think YouTube's even like prioritizing more of that now, even like smaller stuff, or just like top of my feed every time. Even small creators of like, dude with 4 subscribers yesterday. And I watch it and it keeps popping up. I'm like, huh, there's something to this.
Who else do you guys watch that you like that's doing non-cinematic stuff? Because I honestly don't have the same skill set as you guys that are like filmmakers. I understand. My talent is understanding the arc of storytelling, and like if somebody was like, yo, here's what happened in my life, I could be like, here's the way that you tell that story. But in terms of like visual shots and all of that, I can know how to do it, but I don't have the interest in doing it. Whereas like some people, even like Alex that I was with earlier, is like, yo, I like geek out over like the way that somebody framed something, and my mind is so not like that. So I'm like, who are other people that are doing shit that's not cinematic that's interesting?
Like solo creators, not with like a team, like no one's filming them.
Either.
Honestly, man, like not many people. I feel like Marcus Milioni, but that's like higher quality stuff with Sam Snowden. But
Yes.
it's still more of that like raw, like long stuff where you just follow along. But I think there's a massive gap because everyone's just like optimized and pushed in this area, and they're competing over like faster.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we'll see. Like as you're starting, I think you'll be like an early trendsetter, and like
That's great.
Because it feels so different and fresh. Where it's like we've all been drinking like sugared water our whole life, and it's like it's good, it tastes good, but then you have like a nice glass of cold water, and you're like, oh, I miss that. I feel like that's kind of what it feels like. It's just like no bullshit, nothing.
It's great to hear, bro.
So
What's good with you? How are you?
good.
How's agency stuff?
We're figuring it out. I think it's good. It's like
Is it team? Anybody in here on team?
no, separate. It's like probably the most humbling business.
It's paid ads? What are you running?
So it's a mix of creator partnerships is what we started with,
Mm-hmm.
and then we increased like our services to then like not creators like running like creator partnerships, but people who were like making really good stuff but didn't have an audience, and so we're using that as ads. And then that was kind of like our mix. It's like people who could be creators but could make really high quality ads,
Mm-hmm.
and then just running those, and then doing a lot of like multivariate stuff with that, and then even like getting creators to use their likeness, but then getting them to just record stuff, and then we were chopping it up internally and like
Cool.
15 variants instead of just like one ad that a creator like with a larger following would made. We were like, how can we add more signs and stuff?
And you guys actually take it and add like a separate call to action or a separate hook or something where they're not needing to film additional.
Exactly. They just record like 5 different hooks. We give them the scripts and stuff, and then we can chop it up so it's less work
Yeah.
for them. But like in the ad manager, like it makes sense to run and like retarget using a creator. Like it's more effective.
Mhm.
But then it becomes hard if you can't test multiple things. And like that was kind of our like bread and butter that we're starting to figure out, which is fun.
Cool.
But it's like it's hard. Like I came from like being a creator where like if you start a merch business or if you do this, it's like the 0 to 1 is so easy because you have the audience. And like we were lucky early on because we had some clients come through my content, but like not enough and not like in a repeatable way. So like actually learning how to build like a real business and real like sales processes is like it's a whole different beast.
How are you going about that?
Just like so much research in the past couple months, just like testing different things and like what does it look like.
Outside of your content, you guys are now doing sales outreach in a different way.
Outbound for months now, like running actual ads to target people.
Mhm.
Starting with our own content on Instagram now, and like basically doing ABC testing with
Yeah.
these 3 different things. But like, yeah, it's hard, but like fun. Like I enjoy the challenge of it, but it's not like boom, we're $1 million agency.
Yeah.
You see online, I'm like, fuck, this shit's brutal.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I like it, but that's like kind of where we're at. Is like past couple months, like or just a year of like narrowing down like who are we serving, because there's like Colin and like a big brand and this, and it was all over the place, and we changed our services slightly because we're like, oh, that's a big deal, and like we don't have any money coming in from other areas, and then kind of getting slapped around because of that.
Mhm.
So
What's the difference between you and other co-founders in terms of Mindshareff operational? Like, what's the delegation of it?
yeah, so I have like the least mind share. Like other co-founders are doing it full time, and it's like basically like all of our operations is one guy like CRO, and then like most of our sales stuff, and then like paid ads teams run by that, and then I'm basically running like all of brand, and then starting to build our internal like content studio and like working with creators to build that out.
Very cool.
But before it was more just like me doing YouTube stuff, and then stuff would trickle in, but then it really wasn't in the same way, and we weren't building enough of our independent brand, and so now I'm coming in more like full time to do all of that because it needs it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What got you to want to do agency like this versus you just do like your own solo YouTube consulting or something like that?
Oh, Drew. So we got a camera here.
Oh, that's good, man.
Good to see you. This is
Oh, I
JT.
interrupt shit.
No, come on in, brother.
Chris is upstairs. I think on a call.
Sorry.
You're good. I'm JT.
In person, yeah. Drew.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you, man.
How are you?
Doing well.
Wait, we've chatted.
We've chatted.
A
yeah.
ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I didn't know you lived in Austin.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
I thought you were LA.
Nah. You know like Zach Ferrara though, right?
Yeah.
That group of people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Zach's a good guy.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool to see you in person, man.
Wait, so you're at Google right now?
Yeah, I just actually my last day's Friday. So.
Nice. Wait, and where are you going?
Yeah, probably. I am working with creators independently now, so
Sick.
It should be sick.
That's awesome.
So,
Specifically around YouTube or what?
specifically around YouTube, yeah. So I'm flying out to see Mr. Beast's team and on Sunday.
Okay, have you seen any of my shit? Give me some pointers. What am I doing? What are you liking? Have you seen any of it?
Yeah, I think you're doing great, man. I think the business, like, you're in like a self-help / like business Gary Vee niche, which I think is really cool. I think, you know, from the content I've seen, like trying to relate more to like specific people that are trying to build something is probably going to be big. Like,
cool.
I mean, it's like a very, very niche element of YouTube. Like Colin and Samir have a hard time because like there's only so many people that like watch the creator space, for example. So like Gary Vee also, I feel like his content lately isn't like popping off the way it used to be. And like Hermosi's is doing really well right now, but like Hermosi is like hitting that like blend of business / gym bro self-help. So like he's hitting two things at once. I feel like the fitness space is like very big right now. So I don't know, maybe like you were a professional hockey player, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like tying that in somehow would be a good way. But you gotta do
Very
that
cool.
thing. I feel like
I appreciate it.
changing it up for
I'll add in some other shit.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's cool, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Dude, you have a sick, is that your place in Marina Del Rey?
Yeah.
Dude,
My
how do
office?
you afford that?
My office or house?
Wherever I see the sauna.
That's house, yeah.
Yeah.
No, my office is at my house.
Oh, they're the
But
same thing.
yeah, it's all one.
Marina Del Rey's not cheap. It looks dope.
Yeah, it's been great. Our rent is like $7,000 a month. It's been so worth it because we haven't had to pay for an office. Now my fiance is actually like grown out of it, so now she actually has an office.
Yeah.
But for me, for the most part, all my employees always worked from my house.
Sick.
We got it because we first were training people, so we were fitness out of our house. Everything was done out of our house.
Do they live there too, or
Employees?
you care about Sarah?
No,
I'm sure
please,
you guys
sit.
film on some shit or something.
Cool.
I don't feel like you really see Alex's. I don't follow him like super closely, but I feel like you don't see a lot of his life.
Yeah.
I feel like he's very informational, which I like, but I want to show people
Showcase
more
the
of like
lifestyle.
what I'm doing in my life.
And the Chamberlain stuff. But how many
That's a
videos,
great
how many videos do you have posted
15? No, probably like in total or just in the last
in total, like on your
probably
channel?
30.
You would,
But I just started in the last
I
2
feel like
weeks.
it takes a while for YouTube to find the right audience and like promote it to the algorithm. So
This is such a long-term play for me.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at. I don't want this to grow super fast. I'm okay with it growing slow. I don't care. I'm not, dude. I'm doing no title. No. I'm doing no crazy titling. I'm doing 0 thumbnail.
yeah.
I'm doing 0 description. None of the shit that I think is I'm supposed to do. I'm doing. No music. No cutting. No visuals.
Well,
nothing.
I think you'll probably also just get not saying your content's any which way, but like you'll probably just get better too with the volume of doing it over like doing more reps. And every creator I've talked to, like, do you know Malad? He's like a short form creator.
A Subway.
Subway guy, yeah. Like Malad and I were talking last VidCon about like he's gotten big. He was like when he was in like middle school or high school, he had like a huge Vine account like that was just like no face, and so like he really understands, I think, social media really well as a creator. And he was just saying like the number one thing you can do if you want to actually get big on social is just like make 100 videos. And you hear Mr. B say the same thing. Sure. Like I think that's if you're starting from scratch, like definitely.
That's how I figured out TikTok too. Was literally like I can't judge myself until I've made 3 videos a day for 30 days.
Did that blow up really fast though? You had like the what was the house called?
Honey House.
Honey House, yeah.
Even in Honey House, so Honey House was the second account that I had done. So I had done my personal brand, then I did Honey House, and then I rebranded my personal to our couples account and started a new personal brand. Both Honey House and the second one that I did, which was all business, took a while for it to hit. Like amount of videos.
Yeah. So it wasn't just like I mean you see it sometimes, but like I don't know. It's not like it's very rare. I think that creators like pop off immediately.
But if you need to pop off, you know, I feel like your stuff, even if you have 1,000 views, like if you want to put in like your funnel sort of thing, you only need a couple people to convert to make a living because your business, you're not trying to go to
Yes.
a 9-figure business.
Yes.
You can keep it as is, never add more. Like your content doesn't need to like get better from like a production standpoint. You can just like keep doing this.
I agree, which is why I feel so good with it, and because it doesn't feel like it has to work right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking at YouTube as like, oh, I need to monetize this immediately.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want this to be just really enjoyable and feel like I'm finding people enjoying it as well, and then I'll keep going.
Engagement, like if people reached out from your content.
Yeah, more. I'm getting more people messaging me about YouTube than Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn right now.
There you go. Like also like.
And I'm not getting, bro. Some videos have like 200 views.
See, but that's like what you're saying. Like, what a view means these days, especially with shorts, is like so. It's so different, and so if you're actually having people reach out and like, it's making some sort of a community from that, then I think that's way more impactful than like getting 1 million views on a TikTok or on a short or something, and no one really like engages past that.
I agree. I think we're going through like a big. I think it's not even. I can't even. I keep saying I think, but it's really I know because I'm having conversations like this every day. There is nobody that is genuinely enjoying scrolling short form content right now.
It's so addictive, and then you just feel so trash afterwards.
But you don't. There's no. There like I don't even if you're looking for educational pieces. I just think that people. It's almost like a fatigue thing where it's like you've seen so much of it that even if it's the best video, the most informational, something you're actually looking for, it still doesn't feel the same way that it did 2 years ago. I feel like there's a reset or a correct or some sort of like, I don't even know what the answer is, but like it feels like everybody is just very fatigued. And here's the thing for me, I don't want the perception of YouTube to change for me. I don't think YouTube is social media. I think YouTube for me is, I almost look at it as like, this is an alternative to Netflix or Hulu or cable or something.
Yeah.
I look at it more like that than me being like, oh, I'm going to choose between YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. And I think that the more that it goes into like, it's now a short form thing, the more it kind of fucks with it for me that I'm like, I don't even want that.
Yeah. It's not really social media. You know,
I would.
It's-
yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, what's the reason why you were like, I'm over it?
With my own content?
Yeah. Actually creating.
I'm not done forever, but it's more like I'm calling it like a life audit, because I did it for 5 years, and it was like
Mhm.
more intense from like an emotional standpoint of it became the thing I used to process my emotions in my life, and at a certain point I was just like, I just want to like live, I just want to run a business, and like if I have to keep interrupting that to like, I was like, I'm just not enjoying it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fun anymore. I'm like, I got what I wanted from it. I was lonely as hell. I didn't have friends. It allowed me to meet people. I have friends. I have community. Cool. Like, kind of check that box. Like, I can process things in a different way. But
Do you feel like you now are doing other creative outlets?
yeah, like even through the business stuff. But like,
Yeah.
I'm coming back to YouTube probably this month. It'll just
Nice.
It'll look different.
Yep.
But I've just been like focused on living more. Honestly.
It's awesome.
Not filming. Hanging out, riding around Austin.
What's awesome.
And I think that's just been the main.
So like, if you look at like pro athletes, every single professional sports league has an off season.
Yeah.
And like, I think most creators look at their life as 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 12 months a year.
Yeah.
And I think that it's very realistic for people to be like, I'm going to like, to just be like either intentionally or unintentionally be like, I'm going through different off seasons and I'm going to allow myself to like take breaks and not even like, not judge myself about it or not like guilt myself about it and just be like, I'm taking a fucking break. Yeah. And I think that the more you like even bake that into the content too of like every year I do this, I think it's needed.
Coming back and like,
Mm-hmm.
it could just be 4 videos, you know, and like, but then it's over after that and I can reanalyze and look and it doesn't feel like I'm coming back to YouTube and it's forever. Because it feels like you're on this like treadmill and totally with you because I ran cross country growing up and like your muscles actually grow like afterwards. They have to like take the time off.
Yeah.
Same parallels, but yeah, totally. What's on the horizon for you? So you started YouTube. What is like the focus? I missed part of the conversation.
Focus for me has been, I loved watching Gary Vee's videos of just like conversations. Didn't care about the transitions or the visuals or anything like that. A lot of the times I would just listen. Me thinking about what are the things that I'm enjoying in terms of consuming. A lot of them still are just conversations with people. And then in terms of creating, because I'm teaching brands how to do it and most of my day is talking about short form content, feel like I want to create in a refreshing way of like less editing and less polish and less, not even pacing. So I was like, at some point I've always said I want to do YouTube. I started it a little bit last year. I did like 4 or 5 videos and was enjoying it, but just like needed a pause. And so I was like, I know I'm going to do YouTube and like actually do it for a long period of time. And I want to start at some point, but I don't know what that's going to be or when. And I realized like, I don't think there is going to be like a perfect time. So I just want to fucking start. And I feel like this is a great like refresh of what I want to do. So I'm just going to click record. Then I got this camera And I was like, okay, now I can literally just click record and just like have it view my area and just be on conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then I was like, this is what I'm going to do. So there's really no strategy. The strategy is me showing my life or showing it's business.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily all of my life, but it's like business for me is so integrated into like my day to day that I look at business as wellness for me.
Totally.
I don't look at it as like a separate thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I do think that there is probably a lot of like self-help in life because business has been that avenue for me. So I'm showing a lot of I like straight up show meetings, like 100% of the meeting. I'll ramble on some things. If I have a thought, I'll go and like I did a video about like to my 25-year-old self that's not enjoying work, or like to any 25-year-old that's not enjoying work. Just different shit around that. Yeah, that's been the strategy.
That's sick.
Yeah, and I'm filming it, I'm editing it. There's again, like I said, I'm doing all of the wrong things in terms of hack. But it almost feels good because
You gotta edit.
because I've understood the how things work and I've done that for so long, and I still am doing that. It's my business.
Yeah.
It's like sitting with a brand and being like, here's how you need to tweak this. This shot needs to be here. That I'm like, I don't want to give a fuck about that. And if I can make that work in my own content and it can resonate, well, then now I actually can live my life and it be like fully integrated because content for a little bit has felt like I've needed to go outside of it to like make this content.
Yeah.
Whereas TikTok felt so good for me when I got on TikTok because TikTok was zero polish. It was zero editing. It was what I'm doing on YouTube right now, just on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like that's what I wanted to get back into. That's the way I'm doing it.
Yeah, it's like frictionless and it's like the most authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
What I would say though is it's authentic to me because I'm not a cinematographer.
Yeah.
I was here a couple months ago with Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian Purr is absolutely legitimate at cinematography.
Yeah.
And like to him, it would feel more of an energy drain to come and shoot something like this, where it's just click record and there's no shot list, than it would for him to be like, I'm going to set up lighting and this is going to go from here and it's going to come in this way. Yeah. Whereas for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, me doing that is like such a drain of my energy. Yeah. So I think it's like knowing what is actually authentic to you, and this feels like the most natural to me, which is why I feel the best about it. Mm-hmm. When they jumped in, I was asking you why jump into agency with a couple people versus you going and consulting on people's like YouTube or doing something solo.
Sure. I just like working with people. It's fun. And then a lot of like the frustrations that I was having individually as a creator working with brands, and like it just happened naturally. Like it was like an accidental business, and then like how can we kind of like continue this? And same thing with camp, like accidental problem that we ran into. It's just fun to build things with people. And then like long term, like content for me is like a form of creative expression that turned into a business, but then it's not diversified enough to a point where I'm still pretty much relying all of my income off of this stuff. And that relationship became like complicated, where it's like my life for this like didn't feel like a 5 to 10 year thing. And so I'm like, how do I just de-risk the creative, have businesses, and then YouTube and content stuff can be fun, but having it the other way around just feels like not
awesome. So many people need to, I think most creators need to go about it the way that you're going about it. And maybe not necessarily starting their own thing. I think that that's bold of you going and like jumping into being entrepreneurial.
I have co-founders and like I couldn't do without it. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think even most though is like, if people want to enjoy creating, they should find something stable like a job along with creating. Because I think the pressure that most find of needing it to happen and work fast ends up putting you in a bad position where like the creative becomes something that's like, when it becomes a business, it just changes the way that you feel about it. And if it's your only business and it's your way of surviving, then it becomes survival and creative are polar ends of the spectrum. Yeah. And if you're all in on survival because this is how you are surviving, it's really hard to be creative. Mm-hmm. And so I think that a lot more people actually need to like lean into that and like find something either stable or do something outside of it. Yeah. And I think that you're creative whenever you decide to go back to it. You're probably gonna enjoy it a fuck ton more. Because now it's not going to feel like pressured.
Yeah. I was just like a glorified freelancer that had like an appealing lifestyle. Basically, that's what it came down to, you know. But I agree totally.
What's the goal with? I was asking this to maybe it was Adrian and Ethan. Ethan's not here, right?
Not anymore.
No, but he's coming in like a week.
Okay, I was asking them this question, and I feel like you guys have this, like, I don't know what the goal is with your guys' like collective of creators that are in Creator Camp, but you guys have like some sort of production house of the most cinematic up and coming YouTubers in the world.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's absurd.
YouTube
So
wave.
yeah, so I don't know what the goal is with that, but what I was asking is like, I asked this to Ethan and to Adrian. I'm like, what's the Holy Grail for somebody like you guys? Because I'm so different cinema wise that to me is it's not even an intrigue. For them, they were saying that their goal is big screen. Like Adrian was like, I want to like make a movie that's in a theater.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's the same as most of the guys that are in the collective with you guys?
I think.
Do you feel that way at all, or is that not a passion of yours in terms of like cinema? Same with Simon.
Yeah. I think we have a lot of people who are like filmmakers and on the cinematic side, so a lot of their dreams are naturally to get on the big screen and have a film. But then we also have like a lot of musicians who want to like sell out like Red Rocks, or like founders who just want to build like cool shit. Because a large subset is the cinematic folks, it kind of like looks that way, but then there's also like all these other sub communities within.
Got it.
And we're just trying to help all of them. Like, how do we help this guy sell out Red Rocks? How do we help Natalie like get a deal with A24? How do we help the founders connect them with the creators to like build cool shit and products?
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you feel like will that be more formalized at some point where it's like actually trying to turn into some sort of like, I don't know if what even you would call it, agency or some sort of thing where you're actually like having some sort of partnerships with these people?
Totally.
Yeah,
That's what
what
we're thinking through right now.
Yeah, that's what we've been building up the past couple months is like you have this insane talent pool. Like, what do you do with it and how do you capture the value? And that's a lot of like what we've started to do small tests with and starting to play that out of just like the future of building businesses, the interesting overlap between tech founders and creators and pairing them together in distribution first businesses, and us kind of understanding, starting with more of the artist, but like I'm an entrepreneur that happened to make videos, not an artist who started a business. And I think that that's all of us on the Creator Camp side, but we started with like these insane storytellers. Over time, we're bringing more and more founders, and I think that's what we're best at, is bringing together different worlds and helping create value in between. It's a bit more complicated, but it's like a 10-year horizon.